council. Stay with the council, they go through it, and first time, second time, third time, then these ordinances was taken to Attorney General. But now from there, the Attorney General has to sit down and look at these ordinances. Does it contravene any laws of the land? Those are some of the things they have to look at it before it passed into the law. Now that one was done. The Attorney General produced the way it took a process. You know, it has a bureaucratic process which has to be followed. You know, you have to be very careful when you pass the law. It shouldn't contravene any existing laws of the land. You get it? Now, after that, the level it went, there was a law, they okayed the bylaw. Now, after okaying, there is popularizing of this law before you begin enforcing it. So, the level of popularization, that's where the environment protection ordinance is. But of course, all this has a cost implication, whereby you find that the envelope of the district may not be able to handle. So we interest our partners also to come into play to see how best are we going to popularize these ordinances. All sub-counties, town councils have to be reached, and the community must be aware of such ordinances before it comes to enforcement. So for environment protection ordinances, that's the level we are reaching. Now you come to the alcohol ordinances. That one was also submitted, but by yesterday, actually 2 days ago, I received a legal officer from UNPA who came to our office and said, your ordinance of child trafficking has taken long. What could be the challenge? And the head has to follow it. Because time and again, before my business I left, he had a lot of trips to Kampala to go and follow up with the Attorney General. How far has our ordinance reached? But time and again, we take go back, we shall give you a feedback. But this time around, that partner picked that interest and said, what is happening here? Now, when she followed, she's an actually, that legal officer. She followed and found that we had deflected the procedure. We decided to submit direct to the Attorney General. But we are supposed first to submit to the legal officer, Minister of Local Government. Then those ones make a submission to Attorney General. And they're the ones to make a follow-up. So that in between there, when she goes through, then they are able to get back to us. Now it became a challenge for Minister of Local Government to follow up with the Attorney General since we had bypassed them. Now this time around the advice was that let's resubmit these ordinances to Minister of Local Government, then we follow the right procedure for us to go through this. And exactly that's what we have done. And of course we need to be a little patient. Here there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. But of course, my humble appeal is that we want to interest the partners also, help us in following some of these ordinances. Even popularizing, the local governments will not have enough resources, and you cannot popularize in one sub-county and reinforce. It will be really unfair to the community. They must be knowledgeable on what you are trying to enforce. Kawo, when we engage ourselves, then they say they have some small resources pertaining these ordinances. And I had actually requested them, are you in position to find us to make a follow-up on some of this? Because now, they are posing ordinances, we have already found away. Now, this other also, it was the same era, but now, UNDP does not have interest in that. So we want other partners like how can you come in and help us so that we can really resubmit to the Minister of Local Government. We proceed follow all the process so that maybe we can come to the conclusion of this ordinance. So, briefly, that's what I can say has caused the delay in some of this, getting the feedback of these ordinances. Otherwise, it takes time, it takes the resources, it takes the technical things. All that process, you can't plot any in terms of resources, the technical staffs involved, and the council itself. Because for us as technical staffs, we are the policy implementers. The council, these are the policy formulators, but we work together. Thank you very much.
You're talking about the time you you actually formulated the ordinance, you submitted and delayed because of the procedure you told us. We have been experienced, we have been seeing Nampak as one of the biggest districts with the rampant child trafficking. And will this be the first time you submitted the ordinance to the Attorney General? Or there are more which were maybe ignored before, more times, I mean?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. What I would like to put clear here, it's not very simple to come up with ordinances and they go through, because it takes commitment. You have to involve all other stakeholders. That is right from the technical persons, the subject matter specialists, like as I mentioned here, the district national officer. Then the council. You don't just lay once and you say it has gone through. And of course, since they say from Nampak, I think I will say we are now like 13 years old. We are 13 years old. And by the way, one thing I would like to tell you, there are some ordinances, the government is very careful to pass them. For example, when you talk about the alcohol ordinances, the Zao government also is getting revenue from this. So government cannot just rush and say, put this, then we begin enforcing, not doing this, not doing this. Our neighbors, Kenya, have got policy of drinking. In the morning, you are not allowed to drink, open the bar, not up to 5. Then they open. What about Uganda? I can even go to the bar 6 in the morning. Why don't the government of Uganda enforce that? So it has some hidden benefits. And to pass them, you have to be careful and you need to move slow.
Thank you. Thank you. We have our sister Emma representing the ECDO Moroto, and we want also to find out, because we have young people.
Excuse me. Maybe just to add what Kao is saying. These areas that we are talking about here today have a number of legislations and laws already in place. So if you're coming with an ordinance, the ordinance must fix that missing gap. And so it requires a lot of time to go through most of these existing laws to get that gap and really find out that the ordinance is consistent with all its required standards.
Thank you. Yes, we want to understand the subject is young people, and it's girls and young women. As our DCDO here, we want to find out the available opportunities for young people, especially girls and women.
Thank you very much, Moderator. Once more, I will take this opportunity to thank Kawo for bringing us together to discuss about our young girls and women. This could be one way of creating awareness about available opportunities. Allow me to speak in the local language, because I realize most of our girls and women here are mixed. Those who don't know the local language. It can be one way of creating awareness about available opportunities. Thank you. So, kata hanja na wakago, abuda pia ngiti polo kini walo akingeta tamani kingeta ya na kan mojo na na kro mudeke kistinga yo lost the direct ara loge yo kangade kana wakite pia wale kata malula la ngekupeta ngabugui lakini mleo peta ngabugui upete kan mojo da. So alato amount kani etia na kidina community based services na itokolo yako kabana ngedite nyumo nenye ko tena na ngu kanga alato amount kani nyenye ni ebedori akiganga ni ndeku kanga ko na una chichi alato mwana itako dipidi itia wowa edishmono kantukani ka eyama ya tauna ya wotabukwani una itoduto na bidi na itokolo ya kwa na CBO ina ijaga kidere ngide kutengu kanga mono abarengron pa na ya woni akiganga teknology akatumuna lebo ko youth led program so akiganga kinata naga ite ikatumuna kagara ka kutomana kan ka umpa ma to moni abera kile gaga makinata na bunare ali chakula pa tangali na kachakonyen ya kale to kana program ali muchada ulukenya kwa nyaba ni mwele kile tolo ya program Eringan kaya ngara. Bien na ngayon kinayo asiguo pa rin natin tinagro na katumuna. Igurin nga karta dio. Inya karta dio na pin. Na wala ikin tingin ni dia kupete. Abule na ngade dio ko gua tama poti ke sita dio te ke chuku. Abata media to mo ke data ma te ya ngara. Ating arang jajanin kisha mite ripote na bidong tunga karta dio. Lakini ina program kita lo sab kaunti. Karano boy CPO suke sab kaunti kita program ni. Ya utuna ino district. Eyen na ba chen ne ta pitinga ber. Taruna chichi. Kian bi ada marina waine tina kera ki dono to wonu kuntie. De boyen na ta tinga ber da. Boko yetu web Uganda Entrepreneurship Program. Na da na boy tenga da dam karmine wale. Karmina yukoja na nitija no wen na tie to ne pala. Kata ni tanga da bukuda ai na program ko tera ni pakar ko to ai wo che bigangen. Tolong man ke sidana program na ka. Karena yang program sunda dan ini tinggal beli kena biaran kamu nyekyo, leren kamu nyekyo, leren ini kan dulu mau nak ya di, mau terus nak uang musia dan memang ngelocong ini dengan, so iya program ini narai ini ada. Ini nak dari presiden yang ubi, pokoknya PPM Presidential Initiative, so ini dah ini tapi tinggal tapi tinggi kami dah biaran kamu nak tapi itu ada dan kita punya zaman ini wali tiga kalau pakai kamu nak zaman tamai balap kali kita mau program nak dia lah itu anak itu boleh dia tamai dia kalau program seluruh ini kita mau pasti development model dan ini lagi ada kali ships yo mulai ada ni beliau lagi mukungui ikut itu program naga. Ani shanti yani no way na to programs no da lo sam kaunti kan partnerships be to panan chia to ma dia mu ta ke nga ka program anaga ai ye na ko na ta tin ka wala ka bon ko disability grant na ya ba ko ro ka wala ka ma di ko mo ri ku dia ke chi ya bo ni ki te wo wa ilo kina program na ka mu na ta ra ai me lo ka wala da ya ma bu ga ne wa kan lo ai nak itu rombong ke gua lakada, nak itu cek jomale rai tu dia rata. Ia program kan gua lakada, bukan disability grant, itu orang lalu tu ia gua grupo kan kaya kan gua kan grupo mulu misya jamu letari, ini dengan lugangan kita keci kita dari syara. As ia naik apa syara nak tengah program kaliko, kamar cuma nara ada ni ngada kamar tu. Anak itu mana kalau dia ngada muna kia kusukusha naleni amata kuda kusukusha naleni kai eye na ise jida ngara kitika kapakada ngara ngado kike kusha yo unache ko ni yo bra ni ya se jara chaklo man ti yo ai na program ngara ni apa tuma ekendo program ska buka amra ne che kitola bada buka na ngara kinya ento wote ngole sha ngi da ga kinya wada na otero ijara wala manda akalango to maki apakalya na niti ya wana babukan bono kalau to amabukan iti ya wana kata yo kotau una iti ya kala yo kotau era kelele dia nini ya palaku kalau to ama itwa ngeti ya kabukan yenda ya shandore amanya jama kata yo kotau kanan ejem to lo ke ga tu wani ikwanga to mona ikwanga to guru kwanga de mo to bale ya kai wo de ngati ka kintuwa kerai kawu nanti kana ngalo yo kotau no danu ejem to lo ke ga to ni de mu beru kita taman ko le ke ane ya to yo kita da drama keshi di shumale bera ma yo kotau era ko ba tu ba tie te ke chita di shumale bera mo ye ga tinyo abukan kimwele tinai na ko yo ni de mu beru ya program sine ko le de una ga na tinai na ko na keshi apa mo abuwai ke ka ta ma ko kinya de unu no ko ni de ya speak to ko kinya ma na ngara te mo na ra ni de wera mu beru nera ni che ka chapwani no la corona apa kile ke no to pojoto ni che ka ke ni ku ko ko ni che na ko ke ka be tuon bi se ne ka ti ka ko to na bai no school ke ka ke ide u de ku be duru mu le ya no school we de do wa do ni ke sha mo school ki to pada e ge ne ni da akra na ke ku pe Jadi nama mana ke kuliah na kau misi yang buat lagi biaya tu tu mana ni anak kita. Ya rata tamai, aku dulu masih lagi, aku dulu masih lo apa filter, white kan itu yang ada orang ya boleh je, nada saya boleh share dah. Gambar ni dia share. So gambar ni aku kan awak kata macam apa tu, aku gambar ni dia lupa gambar tu. Pada itu yang mo, ini kan bukan dia aku rumah ni dah. Kuat dia ni tolong dia, tolong dia rumah dah. Itu orang itu leh dah. So Allah kara.
Yes, Allah kara no way. Atami at this juncture, I request my panelists to at least the subject as I earlier said is girls and young women to give some time to the girls and young women in case they have some questions for you. Girls and young women, you are welcome. Yes, in case any girl has a question for the panelists, please. You have a platform. Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I've been told to come in front. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My question goes to the Deputy Kao. This question is basically in terms of it's in line with the ordinances when it reaches the Attorney General's office. Because we realized under I have forgotten the exact provision under the I think Local Governments Act. I think it's 150 something. I'm not so sure, but then it gives us. It stipulates that when an ordinance reaches the Attorney General's office and it has taken, I think, more than, is it 3 months, that's about 60 or 90 days, we as, you as the stakeholders actually, can actually, go and question them and have some kind of, you can even take them to court for that delay, you see? So my question is, can we as NAPAC and Moroto actually do this, come up as stakeholders and go to these people under this provision in the law to ask them if this can actually be done so that we can have our process quicker. Thank you.
Yes.
I think we'll come nearer.
Yes. Any other person? Yes. Okay, thank you so much. I'm not a lady, I'm a boy. But I also have a question that I wanted to relate to the discussion. The young girls who were first on those chairs were talking about the structural policies that are hindering girls. I was reflecting at our home in my local community, where when I was in senior one, my father allowed me to use the phone freely, so I was already enjoying technology in senior one. But my sister was denied. Even when she completed the institution, she was still not allowed to use the phone. I was also asking, this one now goes to the senior, is there a way how we can also sensitize, or is there anything that we are doing to sensitize the parents to allow even the young girls to have access to technologies, access to resources at home? Because even when I was at home, at night I would receive calls. But my elder sister, who was bigger than me, every time she receives any calls at 7 in the evening, the father would always question. The other thing is also to the cow. We have seen many of our
of our office assistants, they are ladies. I've also been tempted to ask, is there something like class ceiling that is limiting those women who are serving at lower position promotion in the offices that they are working? Because we'd also love to see the women becoming cows, actually the majority of them becoming managers, than them being at the lower positions for 5-6 years. You are still office attendant, yet you could be having even qualification that would take you to a CDO, to a sub-county chiefs. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think due to interest of time, we can give the panelists to maybe answers, and at least 2 minutes can be enough and close the discussion.
Thank you so much. One of my questions is that that the law provides, although she didn't give the specific law, that when the ordinances are being submitted to Attorney General and it lays beyond 6 months, we have the right to sue or to follow. What are we doing here? Thank you for that question. You know, we're here to enlighten ourselves. I remember in the first instance I said our ordinances on child trafficking, one of the partners picked interest on why it has delayed. And when she followed up with the Attorney General, now with the Minister of Local Government, the Legal Department, they told her that the Nambak district did not follow procedure. They bypassed local government and sent a direct to Attorney General, which was a bit very difficult for them to begin following. So now, what she did was to come down and requested for the resubmission of that ordinances. And I signed for her. We had to get another submission and gave her orders to submit to Ministry of Local Government, Legal Department, so that those ones also resubmit to Attorney General. So that's the procedure. Now, if you went and said it has delayed here, she even gave an example of one of the districts in Western. The ordinance that they submitted has taken more than 10 years without a feedback. And I believe those ones are also informed of the law. So now here, if you have floated the law by yourself, how do you sue now the Attorney General? You get it? It becomes a bit challenging, but the whole thing here is what the speaker had mentioned earlier, that all whatever we are coming up with is enriched with a number of laws. And when we come up with a bylaw, it should not contravene any laws of the land. So this will sometimes take their time also to go through chapter by chapter and according to other existing laws. So I don't know whether I've answered that one adequately. The second one, a colleague here said that a number of office assistants are ladies. Is there no way they can have some growth or career growth? I can give an example of Moroto. We had when we were still in the Great Moroto, the current principal human resource officer, Annette. Annette was a county secretary. From county secretary, she pursued and got other papers, which allowed her to be promoted to personal assistance of cow. Now from there, when their principal human resource officer went to the ministry, a gentleman called Rika Moses, she was elevated to senior human resource officer, and currently she's a principal. So that ladder there, are you seeing there's room for that? There's a window for all of us. Then back to Napak, we are not only employing ladies in that docket because maybe they have they do not have qualification for others. No. I remember we had a colleague, a man who was also office assistant, and it's unfortunate that we lost him. He was called by name Simo. So this work is not only for ladies because it's a low work. No. Then here we do encourage colleagues to go to school. Some of them actually have gone to school, they have attained diplomas. So when there's an opportunity of an advert and their papers are relevant for that dispute, we give them that opportunity.
Thank you. Vietnam is not a good friend.
Maybe just on the legal procedure. Yeah, I'm talking about the suing of the Attorney General in case of delay to give feedback on an ordinance. I want to say one challenge that we have as a country is changing goalposts in our legal frameworks. By last month, there was a circular instructing all local governments not to engage private legal practitioners or law firms to address legal challenges. All local governments must be represented by the Office of the Attorney General or by the Attorney General. That's the mandate. So it puts you in a fix as government to sue a government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. One of the youth asked a question that how can they be supported as a group that they already have? Actually, one way of supporting the group easily by formalizing your group. How do you formalize it? You have to register that group. You can either register at the sub-county where you belong, or you can also register with the district. And nowadays we are very encouraged that if you're more than 15, or if you're more than 10, you divide your group, you make 5 people, so that you can easily benefit, because some of these funds that is given is little. So when you register as a big group, you may not all share this money, and you may not do something that can support you. So you divide yourselves into 5, then you register at the sub-county level. We have our CDOs here. If they cannot register you, you go to community-based services at the district. And in Moroto district, I'm the one in charge of registration of all associations and in the workplace. So you can come to community-based services, ask for my desk, then I will help you now to register. Then you can easily be linked to anyone who can support, can be the bank, can be any partner. So that's the first thing that I advise you to do. Then other support can come in. Then there was another question for me. What are we doing in terms of sensitizing parents who are a bit strict in terms of discipline, mainly on a girl child? Our brother here told us that his father is so much strict on a girl child. The girl child has never accessed the phone even when she reached university. We have a parental guideline that has been developed by the Ministry of Gender and Social Development. We have already rolled out that guideline. We have trained many parents on positive parenting. So even in most cases, we have also had radio talk shows still reaching the parents on their responsibility on how to handle children, positive parenting. So we have had radio talk shows, even community dialogues. We have reached most of our community people still on existing guidelines on how to handle your child at home. I was answered by my colleagues about what's limiting women from attaining good positions. I think that one was already answered.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think we have had a lot from the panelists, and probably we have more. But Mama there has something to add on top of what the panelists have discussed. You're welcome.
So much you have talked really. What even some of us did not know, when I goes to the community development office, you see for us NGO where results oriented, we want something that can come out quickly. And they say, well, so now local government, and that's not local government, but government, the government side, takes long. And I remember when other previous speakers were talking here, they were saying that Kawo really works with them, even the Kawo said it. Something I remember, we are founder members for Kawo. When we started Kawo, we had one representative from the district. That was the community development officer, who was in our board. Because we were unable to have enough money, people lagged and moved away. We only remained, some of us who are still pushing Kawo to where it is. Everything comes with education. Even in terms of scholarships. About that time I was a deputy mayor. We used to share all these things and make sure that, you see, communication is vital. It gives opportunity to that last woman. This Kawo you see us forming, we don't want to leave someone, anybody behind. We want all to move uniformly. In terms of groups, you see, the government has a lot for us, but it's very faint. I have to speak the truth. It's very faint to the community, because I know all the powers are taken to the sub-county, but we used to register our groups in Kawo, then we bring it to the community office to be registered so that they know how many groups we have in that category. But now everything is becoming very faint. You see, in terms of scholarship, we used to get from, we had a donor who used to give us three slots every year. Sometimes they would tell us to get somebody who's going for master's for PhD. And I think even Mr. Romeja, who's from Karamoja, benefited from Kawo because we didn't have somebody to go for masters. Even I think we remember we sent the wife of Subi. We were just giving students as long as you are able to. We used to receive students from Kawo. The only thing I'm looking at, there is some thin kind of things. Me, I'm talking on the perspective of Moroto, community development office. Even being it in Napako, where there is a need for you to really give us a vital kind of communication, information flow, so that we, these Kawo people who go to the community, can encourage women that certain things are happening in the community office. Go there. Something is happening there. Go there. They can hear. You know, most of the women are not educated. All what we do these things, just people ignore. You see, even if they ignore, they don't ignore because they want it. It's because of information flow and gap in education. So all these things is you and me to push it for the better hope of a woman in Uganda or Karamoja's life. So let's improve that and make sure that this kind of some developments that you have nominated within the district, the program of the government, is very important for everybody to join. But leave other things that people are saying, there's segregation, there is what, no. That one we can rule it out if we share this information correctly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How wants to say something? Maybe 1 minute and...
Thank you, Mama, for that. I just wanted to support my colleague of community development. Here we work we have to form a synergy and work together. What do I mean here? Earlier on, I'd appreciated the way Kawo was working by respecting all the structures of government, right from the high level local government to local government. Now, if we are to make sure that there is continuity in the management of these groups, reports must be shared monthly with the sub-counties. And now, it even make our work very simple because your groups are already organized and registered. And for government to fund in a group, it must be registered, it must be organized. It becomes very simple. And my advice to colleagues is that at the community based, which I know they have been taking, the only challenge here should be a communication gap. Now, when these groups are there, at the end of the life cycle of the project, they have to be handed to the government for continuity. These are our groups, these are our people. They are not Kawo groups. You get it? They are not Kawo groups, they are ours. So, once they are organized, they just have to be guided. That now, there is a grant here, YLP for women. Can you benefit from here? They are given that. There is a grant here for youth. Can you benefit from here? So let us be together and share information. As Mama said, the only challenge is just a communication gap. But once we stimulate that, these are our people, they have to benefit. And of course, when the government releases these grants or funds, they are for equitable service delivery. We are not supposed to say that these ones are groups of Kawo or put them aside. No,
Thank you.
these partners have only come to supplement on the little the government has. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Listen, you want to add something? I'll be very brief because our time is not a good friend.
Thank you very much, Mama, for your concern. I really appreciate it. You know, when they identify an issue and you're told you take it in a positive way, I've already taken it and I'm going to share with the rest of my colleagues. Once more, thank you very much to Kao also for responding about the issue of mostly the groups. You know, with communication is a two-way. Yeah, as maybe the community-based services kept quiet and you identify that gap, at least you would have come to remind your daughters. We are all your daughters in that department, but I really appreciate it, even I've taken it now. Then also to Kawo, we are always working with Kawo. Even they share with us their reports. The only issue is the groups of ladies that they are supporting. They have ever come to our office. Personally, they have also ever guided them, but they are delayed to act. You know, we cannot come and pick your requirements. We cannot come and pick the necessary things that we need for you to register. So I requested them, if they are to come to our office, I can support them on how to register, then other things they can pick from Jennifer. Then lastly, she talked about the scholarship. Which community-based services, I don't see any scholarship we offer. It used to be a human resource office that they used to offer some scholarship. Maybe they're one of our girls that partners. Then that one, maybe you will come and inquire more from other officers, can be the DCO or human resource. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It has been a fundamental discussion. And thank you, Mama, for the insight. We have all learned, and we have an announcement to make. Somebody has lost a small phone, a Nokia. It is for Thomas Odelo, the executive director. In case you found it or you find it, maybe at a later time, please kindly return it back to him. It's a request. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kao. Thank you, Speaker Morocco. And thank you, CEO, for all the clarification. I think we have been learning. So we have got a lot of clarification now. If you want to register a group, you know the procedures. How to register a group. Partners, if you have groups, learn to hand over officially to government or some government officials so that they can be able to be linked to other partners and other government programs. So I think we have learned a lot. So I think the next program is now we are now entering to our species. So I'm taking this opportunity because of the interest of time. I know most of us will come from the Eastern. So I'm taking this opportunity to welcome the Speaker Roto to give his remarks. Then after his remarks, then we will invite the RDC.
Ceremony is sorting these things, because time is not our best ally, I beg to proceed.
Okay, sorry, Speaker. Okay, I think for the panelists, the panel which was discussing was your commitment. Before we proceed, I think you are one of them. So unless you want to make your commitment, then you proceed from there. So one commitment from Speaker Moroto, one commitment from Kao, one commitment from CDO. So I think this one then must track the next city. What we have agreed, are we implemented? Are we followed? all the things. I think you can add more.
Thank you so much. What we wanted, when you look at the program, it doesn't have an action planning. You understand? Of course, here we are not talking about action planning. We want kind of commitment that we are going to follow up in the next conference. You get it? Eh? Remember, this is an annual activity. Now, without us having commitment from Moroto, NAPA, civil society, for the guards, for the board, for KAUO, then it's like we are here making. We don't have something to follow up, to benchmark next year what is that we are going to obtain from the conference. This is what we agreed. So we needed to have those concrete action points or commitments that maybe as Moroto is local government, just an example, we are going to take action to so that is the commitment, that's the KAUO we are going to provide. So it will also be an opportunity if they want the support. Remember during the monetary, we agreed that the capacity strengthening for councillors, you understand, next year, so we are going to some figures of the so that is one of the action plans, which will be an activity as we get them. So without that, then we will definitely need to play without anything, and at the end of the day, there will be nothing that we shall utilize. Remember, this very important event. So it's not just for the commitment for the panelists, but for the conference. You get it, eh? Because even when we are coming to the elders, we are going to come up with actions together. So it's very, very important. So the program did not highlight the action planning or commitment, but it's very, very important.
We exhausted whatever you wanted. I hope you don't remember another idea. So I think the machine has gone down and can't hold us from proceeding. But I want to make my commitment, or our commitment, on behalf of Moroto District Local Government, so that Emma and any other CDO, my education officers, don't come. First of all, I commit that as Moroto District Council, that we shall make follow-ups on those ordinances that are stuck somewhere within the Attorney General Chamber. That one I commit, and by the time we come here next year, some of those ordinances have been or will be at the enforcement stage. That one I commit. But also I want to implore Emma. She has stepped out, the committee subset, to commit to registering, supporting registration of these groups that this program has empowered here. But also I want to encourage my education department, represented very well here, to work closely with us to get the education ordinance hitting the road. So these are the commitments that we can make. But of course, we plan to continue supporting and working with KAUO. Thank you very much. Any other commitments tomorrow? From the panel?
Okay.
Thank you so much. As my colleague the panel has mentioned, mine is just enjoying them. One, I pledge that we shall also supporting the implementation of their programs. That's one. Number two, we pledge that all the government programs which we have in our park, we are not exempting the groups of KAUO, but we want to share information with KAUO and make sure that we are aware of these groups, their level of organization, and we come to them. Then in the side of ordinances, yes, we are still pursuing them. And I would like to say that by next year, they will be in place. No, because I don't know any other hiccups which we may face as we are pursuing them. But one thing I would also like to put very clear, KAUO, you are promised to facilitate our movement. I think in a week's time, I'm going to generate a message that you will hit your office to allow us to move to Kampala. There's one of the legal staffs at the Solicitor General's office, because I need to move to someone who has got the legal background. So that's why here they speak the same language. So we have taken the concept and we pray that we will honor it to allow us to see what could be the challenge this project is not coming out. So otherwise we really need to work together as a team, and I pray that let's continue making the same spirit. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies. Any other? Okay, it's okay. I didn't have a speaker. Then I didn't have a speaker. When you're a commissioner,
I think when I study the audience, it's not necessary to speak too much. Secondly, I am not that old school politician. Okay? That you people should be worried of. Come here and make long speeches. Straight to the point, we have a donor visit currently in Morocco. We have the team from the African Union Commission, accompanied by UNFPA and UNICEF, together with some development partners, with whom Kawo is partnering with. I saw their IRC, the National Rescue Commission. I saw BRAC. I also saw a Kawo staff in that visit. So we've been in our engagement, and that explains why some of us came here late, because they had to touch base with us before going to the field. But again, they are coming back from the field for a continued engagement with us, especially on ending child marriages and FGM on the mountain parts of Mount Morocco. So, apologies for coming in late for that. But I want to, at this juncture, to assure everyone here that for me as a person, wherever there is an opportunity to network and to share ideas together on how to protect a girl child, on how to empower a woman, I would always be happy as a person to join, because as a parent I have girls. And it is my responsibility and it is my noble commitment to join all forces that strive to make the future better for those girls. I want to protect them as early as this day, so that sustained influence of girls and young women in decision making is attained by the time they are there. So I am very glad to be part of this. I know as women and young girls, as girls and young women, we are going through a lot of challenges, possibly because of being more vulnerable. You know, among the vulnerable, there are those who are extremely vulnerable, even if women are vulnerable. But there's another category of women who are extremely vulnerable. Like, for example, women living with disabilities, women with chronic illnesses, young women, but also girls. So we need to focus much more on identifying those challenges and fixing them together. I can assure you, as a young professional, before coming to these leadership platforms, I work with women, young women, and one unique thing I realize is even when we are fighting violence against women, when we are fighting and trying to empower women, it is always women who abuse other women. most cases, if a young woman works with a supervisor or a senior woman, and then there is a gentleman or a man in that, there is a likelihood of the others working together, but this young woman, I don't know whether it happened because I'm sure I did not work in one place. I have worked and I'm still working. So most of our women are always subjected to such abuses, even by women themselves, who are supposed to mentor them, who are supposed to protect them. And so this vice should end. We shouldn't be hypocrites. Okay? If we are talking about empowering women. I know for development partners, SEA is a very serious issue. Sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment is a very serious issue. Most of you have policies around that. But in the private sector, for example, in the business private sector, but also in government, and more worse in local government, I want to acknowledge that we've been reluctant on this. When you double click the folder of sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment, and you go to power, for you who are students of gender studies and blah blah, you know the power dynamics. Power to, power over, power under, power what? There is abuse of power. People take advantage of those below them, even if they are women against women. For as long as I am a woman and I have this supervisory role over this young intern that is in my office, there is a way I take advantage of them, possibly holding them beyond the working hours, giving them assignments that they cannot, and then blaming them each and every time, and blah blah. And when it is worse, when it comes to men, sexual exploitation, harassment, and stuff like that, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. We have a noble cause, and I know this cannot happen in a one-off, but it needs and requires time. Today I was telling UNFPA and UNICEF that we must increase funding, not just to government institutions, but to partners, especially in Karamoja, who are doing a lot of social protection activities, like what we're trying to do here. Because I realize some of our donations or our donors facilitate us just quarterly, and they expect a lot. It is even worse with a donor who's implementing with you, who's with you in the same district. As you go to the field, you're meeting them. They are buying water, you're buying water. As you leave the field, they are checking what you've done. It is worse. The pressure is too much, and you cannot attain or realize the goals that you need. So today we shared that, and I'm glad I'll be joining that meeting once more to have a feel of what they have found out in the field. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot that we would have shared. The day, I think, the next time we organize this, we must have 2 days, so that we can exhaust some of these issues that we have done over a year, and then get action points. Like now what we are trying to do here, generating action points and commitments and what. At this hour, people have marched, they are tired, me I didn't take breakfast, and lunch is smelling. Really, I cannot reason to generate those commitments that you want. But of course, being professional, me, I can follow up on myself. But I don't think I'm at the same level. Everyone here, each of us is at our own level. So we require at least 2 days, so that we have a strategic engagement, a platform to share critical issues, and then another platform to reflect and do the other blah blahs. With those very many words and with apology, I say this for God and my country. Oh, I had a role of inviting the RDC in a park. I'm very sorry. You're most welcome. You can address your people. Thank you.
The Karamoja district, the district commissioner from Moroto district, technical staff from Moroto and Napad, the girls coordinators, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. They're working? Okay. My name is Dr. Ahmed. as much as possible to be clear. My name is Fardasa Ahmed. I'm the Deputy RDC for Napak District. I will try as much as possible to not take a lot of time because food is already near and we have taken a lot of time in this event today. So I will try as much as possible to really be so brave. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank KAWO as an organization. I would also like to thank the founders of KAWO. Thank you, Mama, and thank you, Mama, for having Karamoja at heart. We thank you so much. I would also like to still thank KAWO for involving us in this activity. And I would also like to thank you once again for working with the two local governments very well. You as KAWO, you're touching lives of girls and women. And as Office of RDC, we appreciate you so much. We appreciate you for the She Leads project. And of course, women issue is not something which is very new. We know that women are very important in society, and the women's population in the world is almost the same as men, but women have always been left behind. So we really thank you so much for giving women and girls hope, and for making them know that they are valued in society, and also for making them realize that they can they actually have the potential, and they can also participate, and they are people of great importance. So thank you so much for the She Leads project. So we all know that when women are empowered, there are so many benefits. And when we hear about gender, when we hear about equality, sometimes we think that maybe gender is all about a woman, but it's not. When we hear of gender, it's about both men and women, and it talks about equality. They want both of us to be equal. They don't say that a woman should be up, or maybe they should empower women so that they can be better than men. So it's not like that. So really, when projects like this come to Karamoja, we really appreciate and we give all our support. So as the She Leads project, I know I came to Napak not even a year, but I'm almost making a year. And so I've been participating in this project. I think this is the second time I'm involved in the project. And I've seen tremendous, I've seen the growth in women in this project. So when women and girls are empowered, there are so many things actually that happen. And when women are educated, when women are given support like the one the She Leads is giving, it makes women earn even higher in terms of salaries. It makes them healthier. It makes them speak up. Like if you look at the vision of She Leads, I don't know if that's the vision, but if you look at that, influencing women to make a decision, it's a very great thing for our society when women and men both participate in decision making. And of course, when girls are also empowered, it has a multiplier effect. Like for example, here in Karamoja, women are left behind, and that's why we have so many issues in society. If you look at issues of malnutrition, for example, the girls that the She Leads has empowered here, it means that, number one, their children are going to be breastfed when they give birth. Or maybe before that, it means that they will give birth in a hospital when a woman is empowered and when a woman is educated. Then the other one, they will breastfeed their kids. Because they're empowered, they know why they should breastfeed the children. So meaning it curbs the problem of malnutrition. And then when also women are empowered, it means that they will be able to take their children to school. So the girls here, for example, the girl who said she was left, she dropped out in senior 3, So if she's going back to school, do you think her children will not be educated? So her children will be educated as well. So it means that when a girl is educated, she will replicate it on her children. For example, I'm educated as a Karamoja child. It means that I will prioritize education for my kids. So that's how the rope moves. So it means that when these women and girls are empowered, there are so many benefits which comes in multiplier form. So and then of course as She Leads advocates, I want to thank the young girls who have been selected as girls coordinators. And I pray that you continue playing that role, and you play it so well. I heard them talk of always advocating for Karamoja. Please continue advocating for your motherland, because there is no any other place that is home except here. I'm going to, there is a skit that was played here that I think all of us know that it happens in Karamoja. So I'm just trying to re-echo this to Kawo that please, if you look at that kind of skit, you know these dramas, when there is emotion, when there is emotion in them, it triggers someone. So please take this kind of skits to the community at large, and not only in conferences like today. So please, I encourage that you reach more people, so that many of our people can get the message, and not only in the conference, which happens only in 1 year. There are some things that I would like to just add as recommendations, a few of them. So as Kawu as an organization, I know possibly you might have, of course, issues of financial constraints, the donors give you little money and that, but please, I would just like to reassure to you that please advocate for more, keep writing those concepts, and especially on issues of startups. Like now you're having these groups, maybe in a few years, the project might go away. But if you give them maybe support in terms of maybe grants, which can economically empower them to have economic activities, it will make these groups even continue existing than them facing out after you're gone. Then the other one is issues of empowerment of men and young boys. I think we are leaving the young men and boys outside when it comes to issues of gender, it comes to issues of equality. So I think it's important that when we're empowering the young girls, we also empower the young boys. Because you're going to empower the girl, yes, they get empowered, not about the boys. When we talk about issues of domestic violence, when we talk about battering of women, it's because the boys are they're left out. So please, if you could also write concepts, or maybe when you're writing concepts, you also add issues of empowering the men. Because if these young boys, if they're empowered at a young age, when they grow up knowing that it's not right to beat a woman, when they grow up knowing that a woman and a man are equal, so that remains in them. That means that when they also grow up, they will do the same. They will have that respect for their wives. They will know that it's not right to beat a woman, and that's how we can prosper as a community. Then there are issues of policies. The girls' coordinator mentioned issues of policies, and I think what she meant is us local government and us as partners to support these policies that empower girls, and also to support policies that empower women as well, or maybe to come up with policies that we think can support both women and girls. So I think that's one of the things that I picked from her. Then it is also to Kawo. We encourage you to support us in monitoring your activities. The last time that Kawo engaged us was some few months ago. So please continue engaging us, at least in quarterly basis. We need to be engaging. We need to know what you are doing in the field. Then also we have attendance in the park of partners. We invite partners sometimes to our meetings that they don't appear. So please we request that when we call for such meetings, you come and support us. And then the other one is again Kawo. Please write concepts on educating girls. We know that our members of parliament are trying to advocate for free secondary education. We don't know when it will come. We are not even sure if it will come. But we encourage that when you have projects of girls and women, you also involve or maybe you put it in your concept or in your proposals, issues of educating girls as well. There is something that the speaker also mentioned about women fighting other women. If you look at the statistics of me fighting another woman, it might be very low. It might be just our own maybe personal issue. It may not be at a national level. So those statistics are very, very low. And so when we are talking about empowering of women here, we are talking about women who have been left behind. Like for example, if you look at our statistics here in Karamoja, most of our girls are home. Their work is to do house chores. Our work is to give birth. Our work is to go to the, go to look for food for the men while the men are seated under trees. They are relaxing. So the statistics of women fighting other women is not really. It's not really a big challenge. It's not a big challenge as such. It's just something that is. It's very, very small, yeah, so it cannot really be a big issue. So the bigger one here is women being left behind, left at home to be pregnant and produce, to be left at home to cook for the men who come late at home. Some of them even step out of home, by the way, and come when the following day. So women are just left as such. So when it comes to projects like She Leads, it's advocating for women to rise up and speak up. So I don't think another woman can shut another woman's voice. That for you, you're not going to speak up today. No. So those ones are just, at a minimal rate. But to Kawo, I'm seeing the groups as office of the RDC. We really appreciate you so much. I'm seeing the confidence of the women here. The girls who testified and said, for me, when I'm called for a meeting, or maybe when I'm called for a public meeting, I run away. But now you saw she spoke in front of us, right? So you're doing a great job. Yeah, because if women are not confident to speak up, if they are not confident to stand in front of you the way I'm standing here, they will not mention their issues. They will not tell their problems out. So I thank you for that, because now I'm seeing the women groups you have. Trust me, we're going to have some of the leaders from those women. And already there's a girl. So there's already a girl who is, I think, part of, though she's in another district, but she's talking of contesting as a woman member of parliament. So that is a woman member of parliament for. It's still the same. She's running with men, so you can see that. So meaning the She Leads project is doing something. It's really doing something. So I believe even the girls who are dancing here, the girls who are making a skit here, the girl was making a poem. It means that this is how we groom the leaders. This is how the leaders of tomorrow come about. So I really see that the project is good. And please continue with the same project, even if it's ending in 2027. We feel like it should continue, and it will reach as many people as possible. I know your groups are one in each sub-county. I know it's the start, but I'm just trying to reassure that please make them more in every sub-county in Karamoja. Because one of the things I've also seen with the girls is we have a lot of talent in them. You see the drama they played here. I think some of you thought that we're in a movie, right? It looked like a real movie. So it means that we have talent. Not only are we empowering them in decision making, but we are also trying to nurture the talent they have. So you can see the way they presented here. I think it triggered some of your emotions. For me, it triggered me. So that is really, it shows that the women have the potential. They are not being given that opportunity.